Welcome to AltJake Takes On.
Hello, everybody. We are back. I am AltJake. You're listening to AltJake Takes On, episode number 41. Had a really good year of knocking these out every single week. It's been pretty dang good. With my buddy always as George. How you doing today, my friend?
Always good, thank you.
Nice. Yeah. No, it's just took a second as I was saying it out loud. I'm like, we really like honed in on this. Like, no, we're doing an episode every single week and other shows too with it. But
that's the plan. Once you start something.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. It took us a little bit to figure out the process to get started. But the day we started back at the end of February, we've really knocked this out. That's nice. That's a nice way to wrap up the year with it. No, it's good.
So I will warn everybody, I now have access to all this stuff in StreamYard. So
yeah,
not so much today, but maybe tomorrow night you might, we'll see.
Yeah. Tune into our AEW live review on Thursdays, which is now at 9:30 Eastern.
Yeah, perfect.
Moved it back a little bit. Better for everybody involved, I feel like, too. And then we make sure that we're not coming in too soon after the SC Maniacs, going up before This Is Awful, and then giving me time to eat dinner, too. It was a weird time for me with where it was with my mountain time zone. But yeah, we will be back on Thursday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, to review another banner episode of AEW Dynamite. Hopefully Tony Khan goes live for us.
Yeah, I got my phone next to me. Don't worry.
Yeah, well, we will hope. Yeah, or maybe he'll go live afterward. What we could do?
He always goes before, like
he
about
does,
10 minutes,
because he's promotion.
We'll see.
The whole point of his idea is promotion, which makes sense. It's smart.
You know what the whole point actually is? He what did this say? This said he wants to be personable. That's why he does them. Seriously.
No, I just laugh because I'm like, I get it. It's just
if you can't relate to a guy on the yacht, who can you relate to?
Yeah, it's the super yacht, the mega yacht. Yeah, with the 4 TVs connected behind him, and in his penthouse suites from the balcony. Yeah, no, we can all relate. Everybody's dad has a super yacht.
Sure.
Jesus.
Hey, before we get going, I mentioned something to you, I think the last show, and I didn't know exactly what I was getting into. We just kind of glossed over it. And then I realized how big it actually was. Remember the Ric Flair comment I made?
Oh, yeah. No, I do remember, because
I didn't know the whole story when I was relaying what I was relaying to you.
Oh, boy.
So, again, my information comes from what Ric Flair said. This is not me talking, but Ric Flair said, or what Bubba has said. Bubba the Love Sponge, also on YouTube. Good show, by the way. But I was kind of piecing it all together. So we'll get to this, then we'll get to our normal shit. So Rick was on the Double Coverage podcast. Okay. And he said, amongst other things, that, Hulk was in pain and the doctor couldn't write the script anymore. So they, quote, they had to get their drugs on the streets. Okay. That's what he said.
Right.
And that led to what I told you I was reading. Okay. Remember, I read the tweet that he sent? That was also followed up by Sky got a hold of Rick and told Rick, take the down, retract your statement. So Rick actually put another tweet up saying, okay, Sky, everything, Hulkamania, all that stuff like that.
Oh, because he can't just be wrong. Right. Okay.
So this all ties back in to Bubba the Love Sponge. Now, we're going to summarize everything here really good. So I was listening to Bubba, and he talked about Flair, and he's like, he goes off into his spot. The investigation's still open.
Right.
Okay. It's not closed. It's still open. Okay.
Right, with like the body cam footage and all that stuff. Yeah, because we never got a conclusion.
All that stuff we never seen.
Right. Well, and we won't hear anything at this point, because if it's if it's in a current investigation or current litigation, they have to keep quiet. Well, we will find out once that's done. Right. Yeah.
The litigation part is that the Hogan family was going after medical malpractice. Okay. They got a 90-day. They got a 90-day extension, which we didn't know at the time. We know now through Bubba the Love Sponge. And that expires, I think he said January 3rd or 4th.
Oh.
Why I mentioned that is because Ric Flair also said in his interview that we will find out in 30 days. Okay, so this is all tying together.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
I'm putting it all together for us right now. So, and it's so weird because way back in the beginning, when Hogan first passed, we had talked about Bubba's, he knew he had inside information, and he had said that, he was on painkillers. He found out that his doctor has not written a script for Hogan in the past year. Okay. So Hogan had to get his medication somewhere. Okay. Bubba said that maybe he was going out, somebody was getting it for him, which Flair also said. Interesting part is, if you remember from the Ketamine Queen Matthew Perry stuff, they took down that whole operation, remember?
Yeah.
Like they took down the runner, the Ketamine Queen. They took down everybody in between.
Yeah, it was like a whole, almost a syndicate. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So if he had to go get unprescribed medication, and it may have been stepped on or, whatever they do with something, and that caused his death, in 30 days, the poop is going to hit the fan.
Yeah, no, that's and
if you actually think about it for a minute, let that settle in your brain. Like if all this happened, if it happened, because Sky's telling Rick it never happened. And Bubba said that Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan were tight. Like he's in the inner circle of Hulk Hogan. Ric Flair is. Okay. So Flair said what he said, and he meant what he said, but he had to say he didn't mean what he said.
Yeah, because I remember Michael Jackson's doctor got arrested or whatever for not the same thing, but a similar kind of thing where, and that's kind of what happened in this country with the epidemics of, painkillers and different things, and opioids is the word I was looking for. There was a way they started having to get them a little bit more illegally or getting them, they weren't prescribing them, but getting them stolen. And that was years and years ago. And then also Matthew Perry, the doctors probably could only get like street level, you know what I mean? You don't want to say it, but I can see where they would put that into. And I mean, Rick's obviously putting together what he puts together like Rick does, but he might not be wrong either.
Well, the thing, Bubba said the following, and this really got me.
Yeah.
He goes, think now you're in Hulk's inner circle. Okay. And you see you're his best friend, and Hulk goes, dude, I need something. Right. Can you help me out? Go see Johnny Jones down the street. You go. Now, if it was me, I'd go get him for him, right? I'm not going to lie. If Hulk Hogan and me were best friends, I'd go down and get him something if I had to. So you come back, you hand him a brown paper bag and say, I got you 25 or whatever.
Right.
Then he takes them and he passes away the next day. You're going to get charged. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, because you were the one who provided or whatever with it. Yeah, that's like what, second or third degree manslaughter or whatever, because you didn't mean to.
Like you're thinking you're doing good because you love the guy, and
right. Well,
God,
and
dang.
Well, and it's one of those things too, like now, and like we'll go with the number 25 because you said it. Like if you were thinking that was gonna last him, like, oh, it'll be like 5 a day, like we'll get or 2 a day. But then after the next day, like they're all gone. Like, how, did he take them all? Was it administered by somebody? I still want to know. Like you mentioned it before with the investigation. I still want to know what's on that like body cam footage that the family had to see or whatever. Cause like, yeah, this whole thing, it doesn't seem like anybody did anything right. It kind of feels like there was cahoots somewhere. Like
they're going to get out of this.
Yeah.
I have a feeling it's all going to be brushed because the one thing Bubba mentioned is that when you die, and they don't cremate you, what do they fill your body with? I forgot the name of this fluid.
Isn't it like, is it formaldehyde?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Formaldehyde. So there was a toxicology given to Hogan after the fact, but what's it going to show? Nothing.
Right.
So the toxicology report's clean. I mean, you know what I mean? This whole thing's a disaster.
Disaster it seems like a very good word, although also could be a shit show because it just seems like nobody did, and it seems like everybody, either they were in some sort of cahoots and trying to get money out of this and do so and fucked it up, or they're all just messing up individually. Like, was there a cop that maybe was like working with the doctor, working with the Johnny Jones down the street, and then it all fell apart? Like,
I think it's just as easy as Hulk confided in his best, whoever it may have been,
right, a friend, yeah,
and asked him to get whatever it may have been, and he got whatever it may have been.
Right.
And that's maybe perhaps what happened. We don't know.
Well, and I mean, and Florida is a big area of
Florida's the worst.
Right. Of things getting smuggled in or whatever. And so you never, and like, how big of a circle does he have? It might not have been his best friend. Might have, like, he talked to a best friend who talked to like his brother and then his nephew. Like, there was, somebody ended up getting a connection and it goes through his hands.
Bubba seems to indicate that it's somebody pretty close to him.
Right. But how did they obtain him? Like, they might have known somebody, or somebody else knows somebody.
At that point, you start looking at everything, right?
Right. And I'm just thinking of how many people that can go through the chain. How much more of a chance is it where until somebody says, "Oh yeah, these are fine, these are clean," but they're not. But if it's gone through 3 or 4 different people, it's kind of like a really bad game of telephone. Oh man,
that's the problem with Florida. Florida's medical situation with the opioids is unbelievably strict. Like, a doctor can only prescribe, like, I think it was 26.
Yeah,
and there's no refills. And if you get a refill, the guy has to write the script again, and then you're in a computer in the DEA. That's why Hulk's doctor.
That makes sense. Yeah,
backed out.
Yeah,
he did.
Well, and there's different rules and laws in every state. Like, I know here in Arizona, because it happened to my mom. She had like I forget if it was her shoulder or her knee. She's got a problem with each of them, but she had a surgery on one of them. And like, normally they would give her a certain amount to like work doing. It was fine. And let's just say they normally would give her 20, right? This last time they gave her 10 that were half the dose of the 20s. And she had to get Narcan as well. Like the stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's
which I get, but like, this is just one of those things that drives me kind of insane, because the opioid pandemic right now, or epidemic, whatever you want to call it, and the people that are dying from it, they're not dying because of the stuff the doctors are giving them. They're dying because of the stuff they're getting off the street. So it's like,
because the doctors can't give them anymore.
Right. Exactly.
That's why it's a
but you think like the Narcan
double-edged sword.
It's one of those things that there's really no easy fix, and then most of the fixes are like a Band-Aid on a gushing artery, just trying to.
You can mix the two. I mean, when I had my knee surgery back in New York, it was like I had 180, and then I had 3 refills.
Jesus.
Yeah. That's I mean.
Well, with prescribing and see, there's got to be some sort of middle ground, because prescribing like
that's what I mean. Yeah.
When you see that with those type of numbers, it's easy to see how like athletes or wrestlers or whomever could easily get addicted to it, especially back in, as the further back you go, the more loosey goosey it would be for guys.
Yeah, doctor shopping and all that.
Yeah, just gonna say that. I was just gonna say, if this doctor won't give it to you, you'll find another one, especially with how much they were on the road back then and how there wasn't the internet. Yeah, it's the wonder more didn't get caught up in that, which is sad to say, but it's true though, because especially too, where back then, if you got injured and took time off to heal, you could lose your spot. Yeah. So you're just going to medicate to get through, and it would be a doctor medicate to another doctor to a self, and just, oh my God.
Yeah. If you kind of want to quick summarize, Bubba's got a thing up on his YouTube with the Ric Flair stuff on there, and you can hear because Bubba said everything way back when we talked about that.
Right.
We talked about all this stuff already.
Yeah.
But again,
I clipped it all. I'll clip this one too. Yeah.
We did. Yeah. It was good because Bubba was telling the truth, and
it's interesting. And what we're both good at is not making assumptions like we know anything. We're just taking the information and analyzing as we hear it. And it's like we said, there could have been like we didn't pull what Rick did of like, oh, we know that this is what happened. Like it's definitely plausible. And then who got with what? And oh God.
Yeah. Find out for yourself. You can go watch the interview. It's Double Coverage Podcast. They have over 1 million views on the Ric Flair. Over 1 million.
Which makes that, I mean, if you're going to have Rick on your pod, you kind of want him to say something crazy so you get the views for it. You can't blame them. It's just, oh my God.
But again, the case is still open.
Yeah, of course.
So
Yeah.
everyone's
I didn't
watching
realize
what
it
they're
got an
saying.
extension.
So
It doesn't surprise me though, because usually the higher the profile of the case, the longer it's going to take to get done. And
also,
I'll be interested though.
I'm assuming also that he's still on ice. Hulk.
Oh yeah, because I mean they didn't cremate him, and
Nope.
we don't know. Like, there wasn't like a burial or anything? You know,
No, they had like a ceremony. That was it.
right. They had like a memorial. That's the word. I'm like, there's a word that you. Yeah.
And then
like,
I know Brooke went down and saw him afterwards as well.
Okay, that makes it. Yeah, right. That makes sense. Yeah, no, I mean, when my father passed away, like he passed away in South America on vacation, and it was just easier because he was with the friend for that friend to have him get cremated there and then bring him back to us here. So like, and we only had memorials because of that kind of situation. But I didn't even think about that. But you're right. See, I guess I thought he was cremated.
No.
So I didn't, but I mean that makes sense. But
Think
yeah,
how long it's
if
been
they
already.
embalmed,
Jesus, how long?
if they
how long
embalmed
was
him
this?
wasn't it like July?
Something 18th, like June 18th or July 18th. I don't remember which one.
Well, hang on.
I think it was June.
This is what Wikipedia isn't good for everything, but it's usually good for that kind of stuff.
June comes to mind.
I thought July, so we'll see here. Hulk Hogan died on July 24th, 2020.
Okay, and Bubba started bringing it up. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I just thought it was. I thought it was July because I thought it was early July though. I thought it was like literally like right after the 4th of July is when I thought it was. So I was a little bit, but yeah, that made him. Man, yeah,
it's all gonna be interesting because this obviously the time limit's coming up and everything's gonna be thrown out there soon enough.
Yeah,
and Flair Flair definitely touched a nerve.
Yeah, clearly. So yeah, it was August 5th. They had a funeral memorial service, but yeah, man. Yeah, and like it's crazy because looking at Wikipedia, like for so many different things, like if there's news articles they link them to, every single thing has like 3 or 4 articles to it from this because nobody really knows what the hell happened.
Yep.
Man, that's crazy. Okay, but of course, yeah. So, and that's okay. So that's what it is. So I'm just looking at some of the articles that were printed in early August said that he was cremated, but then there's other ones saying that they don't think he was. Nobody knows. Yeah, exactly. No, I
Bubba's already. I get my information from Bubba. So Bubba's, he doesn't lie. He's not cremated. So
that's no. I knew that I'd heard that somewhere, and I was curious where. And of course, people. Like we've talked about a million times, whether it's the wrestling reporters or any reporters anymore, nobody wants to be right. They just want to be first. So of course they reported that.
Yeah,
Jesus.
But if I hear anything else, I'll bring it to the show. But like I said, my information's all through what Ric Flair said in the podcast and what Bubba says on his show. So I just take that information because I know most guys don't watch Bubba the Love Sponge probably anymore.
Right. No, that's.
But
yeah, no, that's
information's good because wrestling people hate him. They hate Bubba. Bishop can't stand him. A lot of guys, Ric Flair can't stand him. They all can't stand him, but he's actually very truthful and very knowledgeable. So,
which might be why they can't stand him, and and obviously like everything that happened with Hulk and Gawker way back when. But that's the past. We can only talk about what we're working with in front of us, man.
There you go. There's my update for you.
No, that's and I was going to do a different topic next, but since we covered that one kind of hard and it was a darker topic and in the words of death, I figure we should just at least get into the next one of it, which is we at least need to be honorable and pay tribute to CM Punk's and AJ Lee's dog, Larry, passing away. As anybody who knows me for getting my start in any of this world of doing podcasting was because my cat had gotten sick and I was brought on PWT by Phil to promote my GoFundMe for her. And then I just kept coming on and ended up breaking off and doing my own stuff. And it's been great but I always loved how much that they were into their dog. And like, I didn't realize it. If you go back and watch out this one, his entrance from Survivor Series with the jacket that says Larry's dad, like obviously the dog was on his last legs because he like holds it with his hand and like kisses it. And you can see it like it's breaking his heart to do it, but then he gets it. Go rewatch that entrance again. You can tell.
I still think one of the funniest moments is when he was with AEW and Larry came out right behind him.
Yeah.
That was good.
I mean, the dog it's one of those things too that and what I love about this is it's one of those things that most everybody at least has come, like most of the IWC has kind of come together on this one. Even most of the people that even hate Punk. Now, granted, there's some people that are way too tribal and way too sicko and won't ever come back from that. But I have seen a lot of people. Well, I haven't seen them because I'm usually blocked by them or don't follow or have them muted. But I've seen other people posting screenshots of people saying good things about it. And it was just something I at least thought we had to bring up. You know, it's one of those situations that it sucks. You know, I think this might be where here you go. There's Punk and the dog.
Yeah, that was the one. That was good.
Yeah, right. I do. No,
Back
I
when
purposely
AEW
grabbed
had a crowd.
Jesus, right? Yeah, there was good. This is a good shot of like everybody in the world, like, you know, in the wrestling world. Even like Danhausen put stuff, you know, like Aleister Black, like the JC Jane, like everybody. It's one of those things that we all understand. Everybody knows loss. Everybody gets it, especially when it comes to a pet. Like, and this is for me too. Like, I get where they come from because I'm a person in my 40s who doesn't have children and is not going to have children. So your pets are where you kind of put that love. So it may also make sense of why Punk and AJ were not at Raw on Monday. So I at least just wanted to honor that and cover that for CM Punk. And you know, RIP Larry. That sucks. That's the bottom line of it. Is it just sucks. Like nothing. There's, you know, you have your good times and you make your best out of it. But I mean, at least they've got the good memories and they were able to travel with him and bring him places and stuff. So, but I just at least wanted to mention that before we got into, and let's hit that.
And now for an AltJake Takes On exclusive.
Breaking news, TNA has finally signed the TV deal that we've also been talking about since July.
Not so much an exclusive, but yeah.
Yeah, no,
I'm just playing.
We can talk to our guy and change that to a breaking news thing, but it's a good little thing to have to at least break into our breaking news where TNA has made it's from what I hear, it's a 3-year, $30 million deal with AMC. And more importantly, as we've talked about, AMC Plus, because people will watch online or people will watch on TV more than they were on Access, but being on AMC Plus is really what matters. Because everybody
I'm gonna have to figure that out.
You should be able to get AMC Plus. I don't know if you'll have to pay for it, or I would assume it probably comes with your TV deal. Or I don't know if YouTube TV has that with it for it, but I know that's how mine works. It's like a sign-in kind of thing with it. But I know AMC Plus is one of the apps on my TV that is there, so it won't be that hard to watch, at least for me on it. And then they're starting on January 15th live in Dallas, and then the next week is in Albuquerque, and they're going live for the second show, but they're taping the third show there, which that's when I was on the Last Call podcast with Chris Connor earlier today. It should be out either by the time you guys are hearing this or the next day, but we talked about this for a good while, and you know what I was saying, he was asking me like what I thought they needed to get out of this. And I said the first thing they really need to figure out with the finances is how to go live every week, whether they can do that by traveling around every week, going to theaters, or maybe like, you know, go 2 weeks live somewhere and then do like 2 weeks live, but from Orlando or Nashville or wherever their home base is going to be. Not every week has to be traveling live, but every week needs to be live because people are going to see spoilers and put them
especially
online.
now that you're a big time player. It's
I was just gonna say, the AEW people that are gonna try to be that are the I must protect Tony crowd are gonna easily come after them for it. So, but it's cool to see them getting this deal. I'm excited to see what they're gonna do with it. Obviously, the NXT thing is gonna be a big part.
You mentioned them in a press release.
I was gonna say, yeah, they did. They made sure to mention it like a couple of times up on it, but it was down here. Oh yeah. Here was it? Yeah, this section here with all the WWE, the NXT brands, and Nick Nemeth and Matt Cardona, and like thus TNA stars appear on WWE and vice versa. And honestly, that hopefully that partnership, I would think goes through at least the first full year of TNA and AMC, but maybe not after the second. Like maybe they can
AMC's got the 60-day.
They canceled it. Yeah,
get out of the 60-day window. Which I noticed, I thought that was pretty interesting. I like that. That's good for them. Good
I feel like most deals probably have that unless you're with WWE. You know what I mean? But I would think that from what I've also heard is that ANC like normal TV ratings for them are anywhere between like 200 and 300,000 live viewers is what they're getting for their shows. I would think TNA would be able to hit that pretty consistently once they got going, or at least if they might be able to start with that and keep it, especially if you tie in with NXT and WWE promotes it, throw some commercials on Netflix and on USA with them. Like, even if it's not paid for by Netflix or USA, like when they come back from the commercial break, there's usually like a 30-second like commercial for WWE Shop or the LGN figures or whatever. Do it with this, and I bet they will. Which I'm excited.
My only concern is if WWE really goes full throttle promotion and their first 2 weeks are shot out of the gate with high ratings, and then they slowly start coming down.
Well, I mean, they're
going to come down naturally anyway.
Exactly.
But I'm just thinking, if you go full throttle,
I don't know if you have to go full throttle. I just feel like it should be part of the promotion package. Now on NXT, that first show to do really good. Oh, for sure. Now on NXT, I would say almost for sure go full throttle with it. Like Vic Joseph needs to be talking about it anytime anybody who's on TNA or the NXT folks that are coming onto TNA, like Brooks Jensen and Lexis King and
as long as it's consistent every week, I don't mind.
Yeah, no, I think it's one of those things that. Hey, you've been asking for it. They've been wanting their opportunity. Here you go, guys. Take your best shot. I'm excited.
I don't think anybody had this on their bingo card, though.
No, AMC? I don't think AMC was not on my list. No, I was definitely thinking. Yeah, I was hoping it would be something TV and streaming, but I thought they might just end up going streaming because that's what people watch anymore. But this will be cool to see. I'm excited for them. And obviously, we had to at least talk about it and bring it up because it's what we've talked about for a while with TNA, but it'll be cool to see. And we've got 6 weeks before it starts. I want to see how the promotions go. I'm definitely going to watch TNA on Thursday and make sure just to see what they're going to tell you about and promote for it. I don't know if
they might not have it because
they might have pre-filmed it. As I said that, I was like, oh shit, that might not be right. But still, I usually record it and watch it after we go live on Thursdays anyway. So, but yeah, it's cool for them. I want to see what they do with it. I wonder if that maybe kind of will go away of TNA Plus. Maybe they'll put stuff on AMC Plus. I'm not sure. I'm very interested to see how this is going to work out, though. And like you said, didn't have it on the bingo card. When I saw that initially, I was AMC, like
American movie classics from the old days. Folks.
That's what they used to be, yeah. And then I'm like, even like the Breaking Bad, Walking Dead, Mad Men channel. Like, I know they have other shows since, but I haven't watched much TV anymore.
I used to watch The Godfather on this channel all the time. Seriously.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, they would do the marathon would take all day because they would run all three movies. Yep, no, I remember that. And really, you only need to watch the first two anyway. But
yeah, third one sucked.
Yeah, no, it is not good. It's like the scene in the movie. Just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in. Like they offered Coppola too much money, he couldn't say no. But
so I can't remember where I heard this. But someone said obviously Mike Santana should win the championship on the first TNA live on AMC show, and the person I don't remember who it was said nope, should be AJ Styles.
Okay, so what's funny about that? So I don't know if he needs to win the title, but I said it on Chris Connor's show today that he should be in the first main event on their new show. Like whether it's can be for the title, whether it's a title. Yeah, I know. I didn't think he should win it, but maybe he should. Like crap.
That's
that
the
might
way
work.
to get the word out. He's Mr.
Right?
TNA. He wins the championship. People are going to lose their freaking mind.
And it's not. I know he's older and like he's on the last leg of his career, but he only on the last leg of his career because he wants to go out while he still can do it. You know what I mean? Like he's not doing. He's not. Yeah. He wants to be remembered well and not be remembered, especially with the way he wrestles. In 3-4 years, he won't be able to do that as much anymore. Okay, you convinced me now. Yeah, no, yes. AJ Styles. I was just like make him in the first main event and promote that. That's how I thought they could promote it through Raw and stuff. But yeah, why not? I'm sure there's something they can do with. I mean, Frankie
Santana would understand that. Jesus.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And for him, it was more about getting it that first thing and winning it, and like now you can say you're a world champion, and he'll get it again. Like he'll be fine. They got plenty of time.
And whoever said that to me, whoever said that.
Yeah,
I forgot who you were, so I do apologize. But if you throw it in the comments and let me know who you are,
we will shout you out in the next show. No, that's good, but it's a great. I mean, like I said, when Chris was asking me about like what do they need to do to make that show important, like the first Raw on Netflix was last year, instantly my first thought was AJ. Like you see he's Mr. TNA, and have big title matches with it for the other ones. Like make sure Leon Slater has a big match against somebody, whether maybe it's versus Javon Evans because maybe their partnership starts to dissolve or whatever after deadline. I don't know.
You just have AJ.
There's definitely options.
AJ win it and run for a month or two and
yeah,
you go settle your TV, your TV off
hook.
Right.
Yeah, that's your hook at the beginning. Yeah. No, that's a great way of doing it. Honestly, too, like I'm not saying you need to go the full nostalgia route, but like through the first month or two, if you can have people just make an appearance even or whatever, just to be part of it. Because when people watch the stuff, like we're in a nostalgia society, people love to see what they remember. So damn, that's a really good idea. I like that. Yeah. I don't know who said that to you, but I like it because I was close to it, but no, that's great. I love that. I really love it.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah. So, that was our news portion of the segment with Hogan, R.I.P. Larry.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff out of there.
Well done, TNA. And so that'll lead us into Monday Night Raw live from, not my city, but my area, the area I grew up in, Glendale, Arizona, like near where the Cardinals play and where the Coyotes used to play. That's why one of those backstage segments had the Coyotes logo in the background. I'm like, you can guys get rid of that. They're not coming back.
Yeah.
Right.
Gone, sorry.
Right. But this was cool. I mean, leading off.
Hang on one second.
What's up?
Mr. Helmsley told us this would be an epic Raw with all my questions answered. If you remember.
Okay, so I didn't actually watch the post show because I was on with Dis and Awful, but I heard that I'd heard he said that, and I was just like, because I heard people talking about it afterwards, like, why'd he say that? And I'm like, well, I mean, I have
a theory. I have a theory.
What's up?
Get what I said there? I have a theory.
Yeah, no, I absolutely did. No, I did. Yeah.
Here it is. He should have never said the word okay. They were going to tell you who the Masked Man was. That was the whole premise. I will almost bet my monthly salary on the fact that they caught wind that everyone was guessing Austin Theory. And they were right. And they pulled back on it. Like they said, everyone knows who it is. It's not going to be a surprise. Because like we talked about, it can be anyone. It doesn't matter. It's a masked person. No one knows who it is. So everyone guessed Theory, and they were right. They were like, well, that's kind of a popcorn fart. My guess.
That's a good, and I get that. No, and to your point there, like that's one of those situations that, that definitely could have been the reason why I was almost wondering if like they wanted Punk there to be involved with it and he wasn't. So maybe that's why they come back. So I didn't realize, I was happy you said it the way you did, because I had heard Triple H said it was epic, but I didn't hear he said all the questions are going to be answered.
Yeah, your questions will be answered.
Okay.
I wrote it down.
That's different. That's different. Now that definitely seems to me like they were gonna do it and they didn't. And I don't. Yeah, I don't know exactly what happened with that. That's weird. And I mean, it was a fine episode, but it wasn't epic and no questions were answered. And so
yeah, I'm sure now that you mentioned, I'm sure the Punk thing had something to do with it.
Probably Punk.
But I just the way my brain works, I just think everyone was guessing it, and it wouldn't have been a surprise at that point. So
yeah, but I feel like they would have made that work. And if it's still Austin Theory, like we still know, you know what I mean? Like, because I don't see them changing that just to get a reaction, because I feel like if they would have had it be Theory, they had a plan beyond just Saturday night. Yeah. I would think, but we don't know.
I just wish he could have just not said anything.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
I personally did not want to find out who the Masked Man was for at least a couple weeks yet. That's why I was surprised when he said all your questions will be answered. I'm like,
yeah, no, I wholeheartedly agree. It's better to build it out and let people think it's
ride, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially too with like the Seth intrigue and all that. Let it ride. Fuck it, who cares? Like I absolutely would. But I mean, we'll see what they do with it. But yeah, no, this was definitely. I mean, there was a lot of fallout from the PLE, but not that specific fallout, which is what everybody was wishing for. And when it didn't happen with the.
It was mentioned very briefly. right at the beginning with Adam Pearce, Heyman, and Bron Breakker.
Which I've got that coming up because it was the women started off. That was the first backstage segment. Yeah. Now, because Rhea and Io come out and get a big pop, I do have to at least make fun of Rhea a bit because she called it Glensdale instead of Glendale. But that's that. I'm sure I've said many of Australian places wrong. Just made me laugh because, like I said, I grew up there. But yeah, then they had Charlotte and Alexa come out. A
lot of denim.
I thought that too. I was going to say Charlotte and her, would that be like a Canadian wedding dress? Not a Canadian tuxedo, but
it's some kind of 90s shit going on.
And with the hair too. I thought that for sure. But it was that because Rhea and Io were trying to challenge the Kabuki Warriors because of their history and what's happened at the PLE. And then it did make sense though for Charlotte and Alexa to want to, they're like, no, we have the next, because they never got a rematch. Right. So this actually made sense, but it's kind of like, is this what everybody wants to see after the PLE? I mean, but again, like we talked about with these war games, because you just have them on the schedule, they're not finishing anything. Like, and I think that's also hard for some of us older heads to kind of wrap our heads around is that, you know what I mean? Like war game should end it, but it can't when it's part of, but that's,
I also can understand where older people that like wrestling do not like Io Sky.
Oh, sure.
It's the promos are rough at best. And then you got the Kabuki Warriors coming in. Doesn't help the situation at all. But
yeah, but like I said, I just feel like it's more like we look at it as stereotypical bad Japanese. But
the Asuka part is Io Sky part. She's trying, and I guess I can let that slide.
But I'm just saying, like, what if that's how Japanese television is? What do we know about what they grew up on and their culture with it? Like, here's the thing: if they didn't want to be doing this, they wouldn't be.
100%.
So that's why I don't mind it, because
we've seen Asuka like normal, haven't we? Like normal talking before. She's talked before.
Yeah, but she's kind of always had that like sing-songy part to the way she is. So I don't
mind it. I'm just pointing it out.
And I fully agree with it, but it doesn't bother me with it, and I like it, but I totally get it for sure. Which is also why it's good for Io to be teaming with Rhea, and Rhea can do most of the talking. But yeah, this set up the main event, which is going to be the tag team match for the #1 contendership for the women's tag titles, which sounds good. But yeah, this was the segment you were talking about. They had Adam Pearce in the back, and like he was initially dealing with something else initially, I thought, and then with like with like Ivy Nile, right? And because she was like, I want to challenge for the IC title. That's what it was. I knew somebody came in first, but this is what matters. He turns around and Breakker's there looking like a giant. I mean, even the framing of it, just look how much bigger they have Bron looking than both those guys. And those are big dudes. Like Heyman, and Adam Pearce is a 5-time NWA champion. So I just thought it was cool.
He just asked Heyman, what about the Masked Man? And
right.
Bron said it's Batman or something. It was pretty funny.
No, and Heyman was like, I'm guilty of everything except for that, which I thought was funny.
Yeah, they're separating themselves. So yeah, I see where they're going. I said it way back when the Masked Man's not going to be involved with division at all. So we'll see.
And I think they're red herring that. I think they want, because I just think it makes sense, especially if it's going to be somebody like Theory or whatever. Now they might not. You could be right. It could just be somebody who's going after CM Punk. I just have no idea who that would be. Which would be cool. I just don't know who they could have that be. You know what I mean? Like who else? Who's left in Punk's heat? I mean, aside from like Kenny Omega, but that's not gonna work. So I don't know. I'm interested though. They've still got me intrigued, and I'm with you. I'm glad they didn't announce it last night. I just wish they didn't have people thinking they were going to, because I didn't quite realize, like I said, that of what Triple H had actually said it in full, because I saw a lot of people that I like and aren't normally pissy, and they were pissy. But I get it. I mean, hey, I just thought they were mad about the word epic, and I'm just kind of like, that word's overused. Who cares? But if he said your questions are going to be answered and didn't answer the question,
your questions will be answered.
That's a problem. No, that's a problem. That's an issue. And then you had the first match was going to be, or was the LA Knight versus Jey Uso, and I guess this is the semifinals for the last time is now tournament.
The winner goes to the finals. Yep.
Right. And because there was also, and then the winner, they were having the other match later with, which made sense too. So they didn't have anybody who was going to be had more rest or whatever going into the finals. And this is a fine match. Like, actually, I mean, most of it, like there wasn't anything egregious with it. It was fine. I kind of expected LA Knight to win. It just kind of made more sense. It feels like Jey Uso is kind of on that downturn and losing kind of streak, and maybe going to finally turn heel. I'm not sure, but I just didn't think him winning this match would have made any sense. And
no, not at this point. Plus, you could tell when he was introduced. I mean, the Yeets were out there, but they weren't all around like the usual.
Yeah,
right. I mean, I noticed it right off the bat. But
yeah,
again,
which is something that's going to die out anyway at some point with it. And I feel like it's one of those things of get ahead of it now and have him turn. No, but then LA Knight got the win. LA Knight gets the win, and Jey Uso knocks over the prime table, the stairs. Like, he got pissed and he got mad, which tantrum. I was just going to say, it's kind of like a toddler. And that's good though. Like there needs to be some fight and some fire and some anger in him. So I was cool with that. Like we'll see what happens with it. We've been talking for a while that Jey needed some kind of oomph or some sort of change. I just didn't know what it would be specifically, but I think this is good. I think that'll work because I think Jay's good enough. I just think he can't just keep doing the same thing of yeeting and being the guy who doesn't win it all. Cause then you had Pearson.
They set it up. They did set it up. So something's going to happen. Yeah.
Right. And we'll get to it later. I've got it going through the show. He's got a segment later on in the show.
Yeah. With him talking about Roman. Yeah.
Yeah. With Jackie Redmond. Yep. So then this segment was literally just to plant the seed that Lyra and Bayley also want to be in the #1 contender mix, which I thought was good. I thought that was smart. Just because that division, it's never really been great, and they kind of need stars and oomph in it. So I'm cool with that.
As this was progressing through the night, I started going from, okay, it's going to be a 2-team match. Now it's going to be a 3-team match. Now it's going to be a 4-team match. Now there's a 5th team in there. What the hell are they going to do here?
It's just, yeah. I mean, we'll see. I at least gives it stuff where it gives him angles to go. Like I said with Triple H, he's always giving himself options and outs. I still think these two end up wrestling each other and breaking up because Bayley's going to go crazy heel, but we'll see. But I liked it. And then we had the Judgment Day coming out.
Did the Kabuki Warriors come in there?
Yes, they did at the end of it. Yeah, they came in at the end.
Yeah,
and Asuka told Bayley that, I'm the star. They're coming to be in the main event against me. Basically egging them on so that when they attack later, it all kind of came through. Yep. But for Dom, like this was great. Like this was Dom proving that he is a star. I mean, he's the leader of the Judgment Day in my eyes. Like when he's coming out this way, the group following him, he cuts his promo and like thanks them for trying to help. But when they failed, my girl showed up. And that was great. I thought that was very well done. I thought it was well done at the show. But I mean, Liv's a star. I know that some people will bag on her size or whatever, but she doesn't need it. She's
people that have bagged on her size have come around and realized.
You're right. So, you're right. Most people have, because it's one of those things that it works. She's great with it. She's awesome at promo. She's good enough in the ring. She gets heat. She's got that laugh that she does that just it grates on your ears, but it's supposed to. So I like it. I love it.
So they're kind of like giving us the impression that they're going to kick Roxanne out of this thing. And I don't think it's going to go that way.
Yeah, I think that's the impression they want you to feel. And like with how the show ended, I think the way the show ended, again, another red herring. And we'll get into that as we get there with it. But I mean, even with like Liv slaps Dom out of nowhere, but then immediately jumps on him and gives him a kiss and a hug. Like, yeah, no, I think it's going to be them breaking away from the group as a whole, like Dom and Liv, but I don't know. I feel like Dom needs to get away from the Judgment Day, but not Liv. Like Dom and Liv really work together, and there's still plenty of time for that to make more fun things happen. So we'll say that.
And give credit where it's due, because they made this whole thing work when Liv is hurt. So that's impressive.
Yeah,
they kept this going.
And it wasn't like she was out for like 6 weeks. It was 16 weeks that she was out.
Yeah,
it was a
long time.
Yeah, she got hurt a while ago.
They kept things at least interesting, which I appreciated.
Yeah. And then we had the Maxine and Natalia training video. Okay. I only really brought that up just because Becky Lynch has been amazing on Twitter again. Like, why would she be training in the middle of Raw? This is so stupid. whatever she goes, nasty Natty and, mediocre Maxine or whatever she's going with. I like that.
It'd be an interesting
Big
thing to
fan.
follow up on and see what they do here.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I almost feel like Becky kind of might need to get into the main event mix because and she's a main event heel and that would really help Stephanie Vaquer. But I mean, she's got to at least get a rematch against Maxine. So we'll see where that goes.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. And then we had the tag match between AJ Styles and Dragon Lee versus the New Day.
You know what I thought of? You know what I thought of here?
You
remember when we were talking about Survivor Series and we were talking about Vaquer against Nikki Bella?
Yeah.
And what a shitty spot it was?
Yeah.
This would have been the match that could have made it.
Okay.
I mean, it wouldn't have blown the roof off the place, but it would have kept the people interested.
Right.
That's exactly, as soon as this started, I said, shit.
Yeah.
This is the one I should have told Jake about.
No, and you're right. And you are right. It would have gotten the crowd up, but on that big of a show,
that's what I said.
Win
doesn't. A shitty spot.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying on that big of a show, though, that win wouldn't have done as much for AJ and Dragon Lee as it did for Stephanie. I talked about that with Chris on that show on Last Call podcast today too. And we was like, I wasn't like I liked the match. I was just happy to see that Stephanie made Nikki palatable. And it was all about, making Stephanie a made woman. She got a big win against a big name on a big show. So I was cool with it, but yeah, I get you. No, this match was great. This match was fun. The finish was amazing with the, whatever they did with Dragon Lee to
crazy, whatever.
Kofi. I saw, and shout out to Alfred Kunawa. This is nasty. Also Pro Wrestling Bits on YouTube. This is nasty on X. I saw him post. He's like, they basically did a Kofi Kingston Royal Rumble spot, but turned it into the finish for this match. Cause there's not that many people that would have been able to do that like Kofi did. And it worked very well and they won and it was a lot of fun. This is probably like the crowd match of the night. They were definitely into it. It kept them fun. So,
they've made people want to see Dragon Lee, which I didn't think was possible.
Right? We know he's got the talent, but he's just kind of just another luchador with it. But no, this team works together. This is good for him. I think a tag or a group is best for him now, so he's not getting all the pressure of it. But next up, we have the segment of the evening. Bron Breakker's promo with the Vision. This was good stuff. Like, this was a lot of fun. Heyman comes out, puts over everybody, says how great everybody is, but then, let's be real, none of that mattered. What mattered was this, the Bron Breakker promo, where we know he's a made man, we know he's a star, but this was incredible. And it was only like a 2, maybe 3 minute promo, but if you didn't see both his father and his uncle in this, like he did like the ticks, like the things where he makes little mistakes and like laughs at it, but then like turns and gives you these eyes, no notes. Braun's amazing. I'm very, very excited for it. It was all to announce that it'll be Bron Breakker versus CM Punk for the world title at the first Raw of the year, January 5th.
Interesting. It's a month and a couple days away.
Yeah,
they did it so far in advance.
Yeah, I think I think what's interesting about it, I think what they're trying to do is make they tried this before with, what was it, Day One as a PLE on New Year's Day, and there was a good idea to it, but it just didn't work. Like, no one was going to stop watching the college bowls to watch wrestling. And so instead of trying to deal with that, they've just now taken what they were going to do for that and making it the first Raw of the year. So I'm cool with that. That makes sense to me.
Just so I'm equal opportunity, Mr. Vince Russo says that Bron Breakker is not over. So true statement.
We've only heard that from 2 people in our lives, and woof. All right, I guess. All right, sure. Yeah, he's not the future. Okay.
I don't get that.
Yeah, I don't. Here's the thing. There are some people.
Even if I'm sorry, Jake.
You're good.
I'm sorry I interrupted. Even if I don't like the guy, I realize, but I do like him, so I'm not going to say that.
Exactly.
You can just see it.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny. Yeah. Well, and what I was going to say is that there are some people who just aren't going to like what everybody else likes. And to a point, I understand that, because to a point, I'm that person. Like, with certain music, movies, TV that gets too popular, like too for the masses, I will take a step back from that. But wrestling's a lot different because there's a lot smaller audience. That's what, we're not talking 50 million people. anybody who's trying to say Bron Breakker isn't a star, isn't going to be a star, isn't over right now, is saying that to draw some controversy from a statement like that, in my opinion. Could be wrong, but no, this is...
Unless you just don't, I mean...
I just, with him, I don't feel like it's one of those things that you could...
He's not that stupid, though. You're not...
Yeah. I don't know. Well, he's not that stupid to not see it. He's stupid enough to try to draw the heat from it, because that's where he's... I'm sure he's probably checked the numbers, and when he says crazy shit, his videos get more views. So
probably,
I would assume. I don't know, but I did hear that actually, and I don't hear much that comes out of Russo. The next, then after that, before they went to commercial, was Jey talking about Roman, and like what I mean, he was saying how like people didn't, he doesn't give a damn about Breakker or the Vision, but that people, I forget exactly how he said it, where he's just like how basically saying, I've lost, I keep losing, I need to, and what Roman said, the title looks better on him than on me, and then just left. So I'm happy to see this, because there hasn't been like much of a change in Jey Uso pretty much since he started yeeting. He's just been the yeet man. So hopefully this kind of adds a little bit more to it. So
I like how Jackie thought she was all that. Jey, it's me, Jackie.
Well, I mean,
that was fun. I laughed. I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah, no, and she is fantastic, but he's mad. No, that works. And then we had the other semifinal match in the Last Time Is Now tournament, which was Gunther versus Solo, just big meaty men slapping meat. This was fun. But I mean, you kind of knew where it was going to go. It kind of had to go with Gunther winning, didn't it? I mean, Tala Chonga tried to get involved. He knocked him.
They made it to the point where maybe Gunther would have lost.
Yeah, that's
possible.
Right.
That's
what they needed for exactly. That's all that needed, because pretty much since we found out Cena was going to have his retirement tour, most of us have been saying, well, it should probably be Gunther, because that makes a lot of sense. And at least he didn't walk it over. You know what I mean? Like they made him actually like earn it and go through the tournament. And yeah, there was points where I didn't think pretty much any other time he had a chance of losing. I thought maybe, I didn't think Javon Evans would beat him, but I thought they'd make it close for things. And there was fun, but Gunther wins. And
there's a lot of people that thought Carmelo Hayes was going to win this tournament. There's more than I thought.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he is. For those of us who watched NXT when he was at the top of NXT, we know how talented he is, but I just didn't think that was the right moment for him either. But
I didn't.
He's very, very talented.
I can see where it's somewhere in the future, but he's kind of getting lost in the shuffle. So,
and I think he's finally coming out of that a bit. I think that's what's kind of come out around. But I it's one of those situations, which is why if he's not, yes. That's what I said that forever ago, and I know you've come around to me on that one, but I wouldn't be surprised and I wouldn't hate if he's the man in the mask as well. But yeah, I think I even said it to Chris again. I was like, I know Trick was initially on the Deadline poster, but he hasn't been on any of the new ones. I'm pretty sure he's coming up to the main roster, or maybe he'll be on Cena's SNME Cena's last match show. But I think he's coming up, because what else has he got to do? But this match is Friday, where we've got Gunther versus LA Knight on Friday on SmackDown, and then the winner will get to give a speech on Raw next week, and then the next Saturday after that's Cena's last match. I feel like that came up fast. I feel like it was like
December flies.
Just the end of the year flies, because I was gonna say I felt like 2, maybe 3 weeks ago was WrestlePalooza, and it's just like, nope, we have burnt through all of that, which is fine. It's just crazy. But then we got to the main event, which was fine. This was fun. Like the 4 talented ladies who know what they're doing, 2 bigger ladies, 2 smaller ladies, good tag match. But you kind of were waiting, like knowing.
Yeah, there's no way this was going to have a finish.
Exactly. Like you knew that that's where this was coming. And then the Kabuki Warriors come out. But then, because of what we talked about earlier, Bailey and Lyra come out, and it's just a big schmoz. And that's where I thought it was going to end. Because even you said it before. We're like, oh, they brought in the 5th team. We hadn't mentioned them yet, but they do show up, because Liv comes out and starts beating up everybody. And then Raquel hits her finisher. Roxanne hits her finisher, and then the show ends with this pose, which, I think it's a red herring. Like they might get the titles at some.
Roxanne handed Liv the title, and then Liv looked at it and handed it back to Roxanne.
Right, because Liv.
That's what I thought was interesting.
Yeah, well, and I think the idea of that is because Liv is going to go after. Because everyone else asked too, when are they going to put Stephanie Vaquer against a big star that she can beat? people say like a Becky or a Rhea or a Charlotte. I'm like, well, Liv's in that group, and that's where I think's happening. I think Liv's going to come, next week or the week after. She's going to challenge, and I think that'll be at that first Raw of the year too. Liv Morgan versus Stephanie Vaquer for the women's title. I think that's a good match, and I think it's a good win for Stephanie. So, but that was
if they let her win.
If they let her, and they might not.
Liv Morgan's first match back after 16 months.
Who says it's her front of your first match back?
I'm just saying, what if it's? I meant to say what if.
Okay, no, yeah. So you could be right. It's 16 weeks, not 16 months.
Oh,
no, you're good. Because I was like, damn, she was out for
16 months.
Yeah. We'll see. I would think that Stephanie would get more from a win in there, or maybe that Liv loses because Roxanne F's it up, and then they can push it out that. There's options with it. I just think that match on that show makes a lot of sense to me, but we'll see. I'll be intrigued by it, but it was a good Raw. I enjoyed it. It wasn't epic. Not all of my questions were answered, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is.
It was a decent Raw.
Yeah. I would say it was decent to good. Like there were parts of it I enjoyed. It was a fine follow-up from Survivor Series. And it's not like they've got to immediately start pushing towards the next PLE, because as far as I know, the next PLE is the Royal Rumble. Now there's the Saturday night's main events. There's 2 of them in between that, but I just don't know like where else it's going to go with it, so.
Yeah, they're just gonna cruise into it. They'll promote the Saturday night's main events because this is another stupid thing they do with back-to-backs, which I don't like, but whatever. I don't like the fact that they did one what was the last one? The last one was just recent too, wasn't it?
The Saturday night's main event?
Like it was just a month or 2 ago, right?
Yeah. It was the beginning of November, maybe? I don't remember.
So they did that, and then they're gonna do one December, then they do one in January in Montreal.
Yeah, no, then and I feel like that's gotta be, up to that's gotta be the decision by NBC and Peacock of when they want them.
Yeah, because NBC, you're only getting them quarterly.
Right. Well, that's
NBC wise. Now it's on Peacock. Now it's you can have them every month if you want. Who cares?
I still think I believe the deal is quarterly, but I'm not sure. I can't say that for sure. Well, I believe that was how that stayed, but I don't know.
That probably all changed. Obviously, it changed because we're getting 3 and 4 months, or 3 and 4. I
think it's
November,
3 and 4
December,
months.
January. So it's 3 and 3 months.
No, I think the other one's the end of October because there wasn't one to be in it. Either way, I think it's 3 and 4 months. It could be right, but that's still the thing is the back 2 at the end of this year only gives them 4 for this year, doesn't it? They didn't do 5. It wasn't 5. I don't know, but it does make a lot of sense for them because that keeps Peacock happy, besides just having NXT. So I get it. But you might be right. We might be getting a Saturday night's main event every 2 or 3 months or every month. I don't.
Yeah, who knows?
Here's the thing. If they keep selling tickets for them, they will keep having them. That's for damn sure. And then NXT, the NXT right before Deadline, which will be this Saturday, started off with the Iron Survivor Ladies Summit with all 4 in there with, Kalani Jordan being a full-on heel now. People are booing her. We talk about it all the time, but this is what NXT is for, because I feel like 2 or 3 months ago, you couldn't have visualized her as a heel at all, and now she's great at it because that's how you learn and get better. So
yeah, I also saw the people complaining about the NXT crowd dropping the F-bomb or something last night.
Yeah, which I get because I feel like I think they tell them before they go in, like, hey.
Well, we talked about this before. Yeah. A reminder, the NXT crowd is the smartest of the smart crowds. Like,
yep,
they're mostly the same people every week.
Yeah.
And they know their stuff and they know what to do. They don't need to be teased, trained, taught, nothing. They know what to do.
Yeah, no, and I mean that's how they know who people are when they show up, and it's true. I feel like that one that I would think that someone probably Shawn Michaels at the end of the show like nicely was like, hey guys, can we not do that anymore, please? We're live on broadcast TV, but I mean it made sense. It was good. But all the ladies are talking, and then of course the queen of the division comes out, JC and Fatal Influence, and talk some crap and sets up a match, which made sense. But I feel like you had to the good old, was it Joey Styles, the old cat fight.
Do you think Tony Khan offered him a boatload of money when AEW first started?
I don't know. I mean, I would have thought so, yes, but I mean,
I'd like to know.
I mean, if he turned down the money, okay, I feel like Tony probably wanted Excalibur because he was told that he was great. I don't know. That's a great question.
I've never seen a guy just go from wrestling to just gone.
Right. I mean, even Josh Matthews went to TNA for years and did that. And Joey Styles never did. Maybe he's just, maybe he got a good job at the law firm or something. I don't know.
Yeah, no.
That's a good question. But yeah, so they set up the match where it's going to be, what is it, like the Fatal Influence versus Sol Ruca, Kendall Gray, and Lola Vice. So that made sense. That's cool.
Do you like the Iron Survivor rules?
I mean, I don't mind it. I'll say this. Last year was the first time I like sat down and really watched it paying attention. And I did like how the men's worked. Like I liked the idea of the penalty box and the time thing of it. It is fun. There's a little bit too much going on, but once everybody's out there, it's just kind of like who can get the most pins. So I think it's one of the better ones, gimmick matches I've seen. It's actually thought out pretty well. Yeah, and like we've talked about with like the Casino Gauntlet, like because that has some good to it, but it also has some, because they let everybody come out, it kind of ruins it with it. This one, whoever starts it has the chance of getting the most pins, but not everybody's in right away. And then last year, like Oba just came right out at the end and murked everybody. So,
it's an interesting concept.
Yeah, it is. And when I first heard about it, I was like, there's no way that'll work. And I didn't watch the first time, but heard a lot of great things about it. And then last year, like I said, was the first time I sat down and really watched it. And I enjoyed it and I'm very much looking forward to it this year. So, this match, I think the match was quick anyway, but I think there was a problem with my local CW, because it went to like a black screen for a couple minutes and then it was the end of the match. Like there was no, I mean, I know it wasn't that long of a match, but I don't think it was a minute and a half, but
I don't know because I had to step out of the house for a moment here. I had to go to the store for something I forgot. So
but Theo won quickly. Yeah. And I mean, and that made sense. And like, that's kind of what Ariana Grace's role is. I also think it's kind of setting up the, Thea and Joe versus Ariana and Stax, which makes sense, especially with how those work. I knew it was going to be a quick match. I expected. I just was like, wow, that ended real fast.
Yeah. Her character's changed drastically and amazing what she's doing so far.
Yeah. And I mean, and you can tell that she puts in the work. Like, I mean, she's not a tall girl, but she's built very well. She's super strong and like, she's got a lot of energy and they put that into the character. And honestly, with where she was, teaming her with Joe makes a lot of sense. And, she's getting the Joe Hendry rub. And so that's fun.
Yeah. I'm glad she's out of that Chase U shit.
Yes. And as we'll get into it, Chase U later. Well, we'll get into it quickly because it wasn't much of in their show, but yeah, they are Jobber U, it seems like anymore. There was a time where it worked, but it's gone.
I enjoyed this match.
Yes, it was funny when they first were like, when they said these guys are wrestling again, I'm like, really? I'm like, haven't they kind of done everything they can? No, this was good. But also, I mean, these are two guys with good chemistry. They work well together. They're both good size. And I feel like Tavion has gotten the upper hand most of the times. I even said, I'm like, if Briggs doesn't win this one, that's not a good sign for him. And he won. So cool. I like that. We've talked about it before. I think Josh Briggs has a lot of upside. Like he's big. He's got a different look to him. Oh yeah. Tavion. Tavion's the one I think everybody knows has the upside. I just feel like sometimes people maybe don't think that Josh Briggs has the quote unquote it, but I think he does. And when he came back from Japan, he seemed like he's definitely going to be more of an in-ring guy than an on the mic guy, but there's a place for guys like that for sure.
And he's in the second part of his character now.
Yes.
Like the first part was all that country music stuff.
Yeah. Because it was him, Brooks Jensen, and actually Fallon Henley. That was the group.
Yep.
That was like the Cowboys and the good old boys. They were like the Dukes of Hazzard, but without, but
so obviously he succeeded in the first part of his training. Now it's time for the second part.
Yeah. And Fallon's doing the stuff with Fatal Influence as a heel. And then, the other one, Brooks Jensen, he's part of that group that's attacking TNA all the time. So they've Yeah, they give you chances in this company. You guys got to take advantage of them. And then we had the culling come out with Izzy Dane. This was basically so Izzy could cut a promo, which was good. And then Tatum Paxley could cry from the screen and cut her video. They're setting up their match for Deadline, which is fine. This made sense because obviously Izzy cost Tatum the title, and Tatum is full on babyface now. She's the crazy babyface, which is fine.
Yeah, they're building. They're keeping the story moving, which is
exactly. And yeah, nothing egregious, keeps the story moving, and all good working points. And then we had the 6-woman tag match of what was it? Fatal Influence versus Sol Ruca, Lola Vice, Kendall Gray. Ren Sinclair was out there too. I'm like, somebody else was out there because Ren Sinclair is kind of like coaching up Kendall Gray. That was fun. This match was fun. Like these are all that other girl in the one who replaced Jasmine Nix. I always forget her name, but she's talented. But obviously, JC and Fallon are the stars of the group for sure. But this was fine.
It was tough finding the person to come in there.
Yeah, I'm surprised they did. I honestly thought it would have just been like leave JC on her own or something with it, but it works. It's good. And then Sol gets the pin and the win, which makes sense because it does seem like they're kind of setting up to be whoever, when JC does officially lose the title for good, it'll be to Sol. Would make a lot of sense. I'm just glad that Sol
losing the title.
I'm just glad that Sol's knee injury wasn't made, like, because we didn't know what happened. We don't ever make guesses, but I genuinely just assumed that it was another torn one or two or all three of the ligaments, and we weren't going to see her again for a good while. So that's good for Sol Ruca. Yeah, Lainey Reed. That's what it is. Lainey Reed's the other girl. I knew it was started with an L, but I didn't want to guess. And then we had another NXT Anonymous segment where you had Javon Evans and Ricky Saints talking backstage. This was fun because Evans is like, don't just tell me I got my future ahead of me. I'm now, blah, blah, blah. And like Ricky puts him over, but then with backhanded, and Javon's like, hey, don't worry, Ricky, you'll get your match at MSG one day soon. This worked. I like that because it was like babyface and like nice guy, but also like, hey, F you, buddy. I like that. I really did. I thought it was good back and forth. The witty banter and good stuff. So
yeah, Javon's Javon.
Yeah, right.
Keep him going. Yes,
right. And just have the more people he can be in the mix with, the better. But if they're going to use the NXT Anonymous stuff, this is the good way of doing it for sure. Dark State was in back talking, and Elba Femi came by. I'm not sure what they were referencing. Apparently, I missed something that they did backstage earlier where Oba just dismissed. Was it Dion Lennox? But this little thing back here made me think that because Dion's in the Iron Survivor match, there could be something coming out of that with it. But it's cool to see.
How many guys walk around with no shirts on like this during the course of an actual day?
I mean, hey, if I looked like that without my shirt on, I just might. Yeah, no, I've always thought that with wrestling. I don't mind this as much. It's like, and these guys wrestled, so it's fine. But like when the guy's in his gear, like at the beginning of the show, and he's not wrestling till later, everyone's just like, you just walking around in your underwear, bro. But hey, people do what they want. And yeah, here was Chase U came out and got destroyed. Just absolutely destroyed. OTM.
Yeah, it's kind of figured.
Yeah, right. I honestly, when I heard Chase U's music, I literally was like, really? And then I saw it happen. I was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. That actually tracks. That, yeah, because sorry, Chase U. Like, I feel like Andre Chase is like probably a really nice guy and maybe a good coach, but yeah.
For this to stop.
Very much so. So this segment was funny. I couldn't find many better pictures of it. They didn't have a lot of it, but where Ethan Page was talking crap to Ava in the parking lot and then gets his car stolen by Mr. Iguana and Yeska. Aren't you going to call the cops? This was not what I was expecting from this at all. I just didn't. I thought Mr. Iguana would come out and do something because they're having a match at Deadline, but didn't quite see him stealing Page's car. But yeah, it was fun.
Grand theft. We got to get back to the basics of WWE style here.
And that's, cars has always been a thing that has worked in wrestling. Stealing somebody's car, destroying somebody's car. Like, to this day, I will always remember Stone Cold driving over the Bronx, brand new Lincoln Continental. Like, he said it like 17 times.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'll never forget. Or was it Teddy Long's car got, different stuff, but it worked because people understand. Shiloh Hill had another vignette segment. Like clearly they're building him up because they talked about his stuff with Undertaker and different things.
Yeah, sponsored by Progressive Insurance, apparently.
Yeah, right. I was gonna say, yeah, the guy's got a bright future ahead of him. Well, I mean, he's got. I don't know if it's like it's something that he made online has over like 10 million views, and it's like a movie or something. Like, because Nick LaPiccolo is his agent now, and he was posting stuff all about what he did before wrestling, and you're just like, yeah, no, he's a star.
Was Undertaker with him?
Yeah, he was one of his coaches.
No, I mean on the show.
They showed
I thought
they showed a clip of LFG.
End, right?
Yeah,
okay.
It was a shot. Right. It was a clip from LFG of them going. Yeah, no, they did show that. You're right, but it was.
Wasn't sure if it was live or something. I was like, what?
No, it was from the LFG show. I'm pretty sure.
Okay,
yeah,
more sense.
That's what it looked like. And I admit I haven't watched that show, but that's what it looked like, and that's where he's from, so that makes sense. And then you had the main event, which was Joe Hendry, Javon Evans, Leon Slater, and Miles Bourne, also known as the future of pro wrestling. Well, maybe not Joe. He's a little older, but Javon, Leon Slater, and Miles Bourne. I'm very high on all three of those. And then Dark State in a tag match. And this was just fun, a good showcase, 8-man tag. You kind of figured the baby faces were going to win, but they let everybody shine. Like Javon pulled his stuff. I mean, look how and then Leon Slater too, pulling those.
Man can jump.
Oh yeah, both. Yeah, and I feel like teaming them up or having them being like friends is good because it's like good classic one-upsmanship. Like
it sets up a great one turns on the other guy.
Bingo. Yeah, I like right now it's all fun, it's all good. Like everybody's, it's like a friendly rivalry, but it doesn't have to be for very long. And I am all for that one day. But let it, like we've said, nothing needs to be rushed, especially with these two guys. They're like children, for God's sake. But it was fun. You had everybody battling, everybody going after each other. But it ends with Leon hitting that Swanton 450, which was a lot of fun. I mean, I thought
I'd be willing to be at the guy at the bottom of that pile there.
That's very, very.
It looks
fair.
rough.
It does. I was going to say it does look. I was going to say, ow, is how I was going to say. Yeah,
you know what it looks like?
Ow.
Almost. When Jeff Hardy came back and he really wasn't hitting the swanton like he used to, and you could see the guy.
Yeah, where he's getting the whole back on them. Yeah, no, I do remember. Yeah, it's not that bad, but that's a close comparison. Now, I think with the way the 450 kind of lands, he's a little safer with it in that sense because he lands on his like arms, but it's not going to land every time. It's going to be, it's one of those things where, it just got to be the one person to take it wrong and ow. But I thought it was a good shot to the end, the in-ring portion of the show with these three being like, because, Joe Hendry's a part of it too. But I mean, really, Joe's in his 30s. All three of these guys, I think they're at least all under 26. I'm not sure how old Miles is, but they're all young. Yep. They've all got, something about them, and it's different. Like whether Miles with his being deaf and overcoming that and still being a big star. Javon is Javon and Leon Slater is the British Javon. So I like it. I enjoyed it. And then they had Ricky and Oba signing their contract. And then they made mention that this was going to be the first match on Deadline, which makes sense of Oba. I still thought they would have started, but then you kind of have to start with this one because you can't close with this one because they're going to close with one of the Iron Survivors. I wonder if they're going to close with the men's or the women's, but
They normally go with women's stuff in NXT, but we'll see.
I was going to say because they've normally had bigger stars in the ladies division with it. I feel like this year it might be comparable with it, but we'll see. I'll be intrigued to see it either way. But it was a good NXT. I enjoyed it. I'm excited for Deadline.
Something.
Yeah, what's up?
I thought of something. The Joe Hendry thing in NXT, is it? You think it's good for him there, or because
for now, yeah,
like, I'm watching it. And even you're saying Miles Bourne, the other two guys, and Joe Hendry's there. I think I don't know how to phrase the question. Is he getting lost in the shuffle in NXT, or are they going to reheat him up? What do you think's happening here? That's what I'm asking, I guess.
Well, the thing is, where his heat was, unless you were going to like put him like right in the main event scene, I think they had to like cool off to bring back up almost like their own way, and not just because it's the WWE way, but just kind of because like. I don't know. It's what he was doing was going to get over to a point, but like how long was it going to get? You know what I mean? It feels like it's something where he's got to really build it up as he is that character and he's doing that, but he's being more than just the guy who shows up everywhere and does the fun gimmicky stuff. But I get what you're saying 100%. I think it's one of those things that, I mean, he only just officially in the last month or 2 months has signed with WWE for, I believe, a 3-year deal. So we'll see where it goes. I'm very, very intrigued by it for sure. But I mean, they're putting him in good position. This Iron Survivor is probably the biggest match he's been in NXT so far. I mean, maybe with the North American title, but that was before he was in NXT officially. So like when he was still doing the TNA stuff.
Yeah, I'm interested to see.
Yeah.
I'm interested.
Yeah. But we got the deadline, the full card of deadline. Let's kind of go through that really quick because I just want to at least talk about it since this will be our preview. Ricky versus Oba. I would assume Ricky retains, but he won it in October, so maybe they feel like that's been long enough. I'm not sure. Maybe there'll be some shenanigans. Maybe Dark State tries to screw over Oba because of what he said backstage. I don't know.
Yeah. I see Oba winning.
Okay, I could see it.
How he wins is who knows.
Right, I could see it.
Could be a bunch
and I think
of
leading off the show is very, very interesting with it.
And leading off tends me makes me want to think there won't be as many shenanigans leading off.
But it's NXT. You never know.
It's the thing. NXT.
Right.
NXT does keep you guessing.
Yeah, and that's what's cool about it. But I'm gonna say Ricky retains, maybe because, like I said, Dark State or whatever with it. But I don't know. But yeah, the men's Iron Survivor having Javon, Leon Slater, Joe Hendry being a name, Miles Bourne, Deion Lennox. But I mean, they've got some stars in there. But just trying to compare it to the women's. Sol Ruka. I mean, I feel like it's more close this year because remember last year it was like, Julia was in it and Stephanie was in it. So,
just something popped into my brain.
What's up?
The opening match. What if Dark State comes out and actually helps Oba?
That could work too. That I would be okay with that. That would work because then maybe that makes because Oba's been kind of a tweener almost, so maybe have him go fully heel. That would work. I'd be cool with that because I don't think Ricky's not ready to. I don't think Ricky needs to go heel yet. But looking at this card, like looking at these, I'm wondering if maybe they have Joe Hendry win this, and that's like his, coming out. But I'm not coming out, but like brought to the dance. I'm not sure. If not, I would say it's probably Javon. But my hope is Miles.
Anyone. Yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah, any of the big four. I don't think the Dark State kid needs to win it, but the other four could. And really, probably not Leon Slater because of TNA. I would think Javon, Miles, or Joe. Any of those would work. I'll probably pick Joe just for fun, but my heart wants Miles to win it. But it's because
they do something when you expect the TNA guy because of the TV.
thing. That's true. They could. Possible. They definitely could. For the women's. If Sol wins it, that maybe they are gonna strap the title on her for her sooner than later. But my thought is probably Lola Vice because she needs a big win in NXT. She's done great stuff in AAA, but she needs to kind of get over with something in NXT, and this would be a great way to do it. I think so, but I don't know.
I don't know what they do here,
right? Looking at
Jordan Grace hasn't won a thing, and she
true.
could use something. So I'm gonna go with Jordan.
That's true, and honestly. Between Jordan and Lola, it's a very similar stance within that. That's a good point. They have this match that we talked about with Izzy and Tatum, like the grudge match. I'm sure Tatum wins to get the revenge on Izzy unless they want to continue this story, but I kind of feel like this wraps that up nicely, and all of this was to make Tatum Paxley officially a babyface. That works for me. And then I don't see them putting the North American title on Mr. Iguana and Yeska, but maybe they do.
Ballsy move, they did.
It would. Now, because Ethan Page has been involved in all the AAA stuff, maybe he wins it back there. That it would work with the North American title too, being defended in Mexico. I would be okay with that. But I don't know. I'm intrigued by it, but those are the 5 matches, not a huge, it's NXT. They're never going to be very long.
Where is
San Antonio. Okay. Which is why for this Saturday we'll be going live at 6:30 p.m. Eastern on the YouTube channel to do a watch along of Deadline. I miss doing watch alongs and stuff, so we'll try to bring some people in, have more of a watch party than a watch along. Come and join us with those guys if you want to. But yeah, 6:30 Eastern because the show starts at 7. We'll give a little preview, little wrap up afterwards. Be a nice, short and sweet kind of first ever watch party, but. I've been wanting to do more content for y'all, so we're gonna keep doing it. We're gonna keep putting them out. This is episode 41. So we're just gonna keep kind of putting them out for you guys. If you guys like it, come join us. If it doesn't work out, we'll see. But I feel like our other live shows on Thursdays have worked out very well. Actually, I'll leave that up. And then our Sunday night spaces are going well. We're seeing a lot of people watching the videos, listening on Spreaker, Spotify, Apple, Amazon. So it's been a lot of fun, and I want to keep going with it. So that's why we wanted to bring you deadline previews, because we're going to do a live watch along party. So, but yeah, that's live. Yeah, we've got a new entry opening video for it. Got some new ideas. It'll be fun. I've told a few interesting guests if they want to come. If not, who knows? It'll be fun though. Come in the chat. We'll hang out. But that's everything I had this week.
If people understood it, it's episode 41, but a lot of times you don't understand how many parts go into an episode.
Yeah. Well, and how much we have to do.
Technical difficulties happen, folks. And
technical difficulties behind the scenes. And what's great is I'm able to edit it so you don't see the technical difficulties, but also too going behind the scenes, getting all the pictures, putting it all together, which is why we ask if you're watching and enjoying, please subscribe. Hell, even if you watch and don't like it, subscribe. It helps us out. It lets us create more content. It's absolutely free, whether it's on the podcast apps, YouTube, all of them. But yeah, that's
yeah, the AEW show on Thursdays is actually
so much
not
fun.
Just sitting there burying AEW. I mean, we critique the show in an honest manner.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we do. I
mean,
mean, it's not just sitting there tearing it apart.
No, so. And when there's things that I like, I write, I take notes, and I make sure to star them in circles. So I make sure I bring up the things that I like. So it's not a burial show, because there's things that we like or things that we see that could go well, or like, hey, if they did this, unfortunately, they don't usually do that. But come join us on YouTube on Thursday at tomorrow. 9:30 Eastern.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. Well, depending on when they're listening to us, Thursday is 9:30 p.m. Eastern. We will be on our YouTube, but I'm going to post this literally right after we record it. So it'll be posted on Wednesday tonight. Anything else you wanted to cover or get to before we get out of here, my friend?
Nah, we wrapped things up nicely.
Sweet. All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening. We will catch you next time. Come join us on Thursdays on YouTube at 9:30 Eastern, or on X at 8:05 p.m. Eastern on Sundays. And we will catch you next time. Peace.
We appreciate you making it to the end of the video. Please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you.